Valentine's Day, it is here, a day for you to celebrate, but more importantly, share a little bit of your love. I'm your guide, Chef Blackie. We're gonna do 7 courses, plated to share. We're gonna do an incredible cocktail, the French Lavender 75. You know it, it's pretty magical and romantic. And then we got some canapes. It's all about to get going, and we were even including a bottle of wine. A couple of golden rules for this Valentine's at home experience. Make sure you keep that box, have it close nearby in the kitchen so you can put all your disposables and recyclables away. Remember, for us and our packaging needs, these containers that we actually give you are fantastic, but the lid topper on every one of these little solos, those got to go directly to the garbage. They're not recyclable. Having said that, make sure when you go to the fridge to bring out your first wave of elements, you're going to bring container A, container B, and container C. And what is all that? C's for cocktail, and A and B are for canapes or little bites. So without further ado, we're gonna slide right into it. I want you to get yourself set up with a shaker. You're gonna get yourself 2 glasses for your cocktail and open up the contents of container C. In here, we have 2 chips, orange chips, dried. So we've packaged this cocktail into 2 separate containers. We have our egg whites, and we have the actual base mixture, which this contains Roku gin, along with a simple syrup that's infused with French lavender. So you've got that wonderful flavor that is just so dominating, yet subtle, and it won't taste like a bar of soap. So having said that, there's a very simple way of making this cocktail and making it stand out like you're a pro star. And what is it all about? It's first and foremost, we want to take the egg white and pop it into the container. We want to take the physical mixture for the 2 cocktails. Again, remember, simple syrup, French lavender infusion. Wow, do you smell the gin there? You got wasted right on that alone. Okay, and without putting the ice into the shaker, we're gonna do what's known as a dry shake. So put your lid on and give yourself a shake. And what we're doing here is to get that kind of aquafaba, or the foam state, coming from the egg white. Aquafaba, by the way, is the puree or the liquid from chickpeas. So if you're a vegetarian or a vegan and you don't want to use egg whites, then you could technically do it with chickpea juice, but I'm a traditionalist. I'm all about the egg white. So good shake, and you literally can hear it in the container. It just becomes, the octave drops on the egg white. So now when I punch it open, and we have a quick look inside this container, you can see we've got quite a foam action happening here. So now we're going to put the ice in, because we want to bring this up in terms of temperature. I guess we want to bring it down, right? We want to get it nice and cold. So make sure you got a little rag when you're working away as a chefy, because you are going to have little mucka moments. Now you sound like more the bartender, right? Making the clackety clackety, but it's half the work now. Okay, we'll sit that there. We want to come and grab, you've got yourself a little small bottle of Prosecco, and you might end up having one that is slightly smaller. This is a little large for 2 cocktails, so I'm still in process of sourcing for this, but rest assured you will have a small bottle of Prosecco that you're going to use. Unbelievable. So, how does this all come together? You are going to hold back. So you're going to use your Hawthorne strainer, you're going to pop it in, and you're going to pour. Look at this. Oh, happiness is making a cocktail and not screwing it up. And don't put the ice into the drink. It's not what we're looking for. Okay, now watch. You want to pour in your bubbles and watch the reaction against the egg white to everything else. Now, if you're like freaked out about the egg whites and you think that that's kind of gross to have in a cocktail, you're just going to screw this drink up. You want to leave it alone and follow MB, because you're here with me to make a great impression on the one you love. And I don't know about you, that's a nice impression to start a wonderful romantic night for two. Happy Valentine's, everybody. Enjoy the French Lavender 75. I hope you're enjoying the French Lavender 75, an exceptional cocktail. It's kind of festering off on the side for us because it isn't Valentine's right now. We're filming this in advance, but it's always a pleasure to look at it. Let's get over to container A and B. We're gonna do our little bites, our two little canapes. These are very straightforward. This one is a classic for us at the restaurant. This is a beet stained egg, 5-minute. And then here we have the egg yolk mixture, which is smoked. Okay, and then I have some, I think it's duck floss. Oh my God, did I get it right? It's crisp duck floss. So this is duck leg, just basically crispy fried out with some scallion on top. The other side of the equation is a little shrimp croquette. So let's first go with the eggs. And the eggs have two half bottoms, and the egg whites are not messed up. They're just stained in beet juice. You're gonna get this little tiny piping bag, and in the piping bag, you've got a little tip with the egg yolk mixture smoked, ready to go, and you're just gonna cut a little hole. And you wanna kinda cut a straight line. You don't wanna cut it on an angle. And why do you want to do that? Because ultimately what we want to do here, and just give me a second here, I'm just going to take this rag and just give a little bit of blotting. And don't worry, this isn't a dirty rag, this is a clean rag. But I want to dry out the inside so I don't get this moisture buildup. And all you're going to do is you're going to take your mixture and you're going to pipe it in. And that's why you wanted to do a straight edge. If you do it on an angle, it's going to kind of come out all squirrely. Okay, and even if you mess it up a little bit, don't freak out. It's not the end of the world, because here's the two things. If you have a little bit of mixture left, you're going to go 1 dot there, 2 dot there. And what's that for? That's so we can put these little eggies down. 1 and 2. All right, and then inside of here, we've got the duck confit floss. And I'm just going to share with you right now, my partner in crime, who's been cooking with me for like the last 13 years, my executive chef, Matt Hall, has gotten a little out of control with the duck floss. It's not the end of the world, but we're gonna reduce the amount because you can see the container's still quite full. So there you go. Clean up your edges. You barely need anything. All right, so we are on the second canape, which was the little crispy fritter. This is a croquette. It's a shrimp and chorizo croquette. So just for the practice of you feeling comfortable with what Chefy's doing here, take your 2 balls, put it into a frying pan. We've included some vegetable oil for you, and just drop those down inside, okay? So you're not really hearing anything coming along here, but trust me, it is gonna pop up pretty darn quick. So let's have that go. It should be sizzling. But this is what happens when it's 12:45, you know? We're just kind of, I can hear it coming. So while all that's going down, we've got some cilantro for garnish. And then we have 2 sauces that we're going to want you to utilize here. So the one here, this is the ancho mayonnaise that's going down. And it's a spiced ancho mayo, okay? And then the second one that we're gonna have for you is a little jalapeno crema. So the jalapeno crema, you're just gonna basically go down like this. All right? And then the last element, there's 2 things here. This is a little bit of chili flake. I'm not talking cayenne pepper. Your cilantro, you can put 1 down there, you put 1 there, finish that, put all your containers to your side. Remember, the little lids are not recyclable, but the bottoms are. Come right over here, just a little quickie quick, and see what's going on. When you're going into a frying pan, make sure your spoon is dry, not wet, and you can see that we're now getting a little snap, crackle, pop. You're gonna wanna be in a frying pan like this for about 2 minutes. If you wanna just have an oven preheated to like 350 degrees or 400, you could pop them on a little tray, throw them in the oven, 3 minutes, tops. They'll be nice and warm. We're not doing frozen food here, peeps. Everything's fresh and gorgeous and made here on site. Fritters are almost there. I would give this no more than another minute tops, and that would be it. For the purposes of the video, let's assume a minute's gone by. I'm gonna drop 1 down. We're gonna drop 2 down. That, ladies and gentlemen, is our canapes. We have a little shrimp croquette, Mexicano style, and we have a little beet-stained deviled egg. Bon appetito, mi amores. Course 1 of 7, 6 to come, but let's get into it. It's a bread course, it's straightforward. It's labneh, done with white truffle, chives, garlic confit and olive oil. I don't know, I got 2 chives going on here. Well, you're not getting 2 chives, so let's just clear that air up. Inside the pan, there's some Maldon salt. So you wanna bring this out and pop it to the side. You'll see at the end the purpose of it. For those that have been doing these experiences, you know very well that you're going to take your oil, keep your garlic confit in, and you're gonna run this olive oil over your 4 pieces of bread. You're gonna take that, put it on the broil setting, and you're gonna go into the broiler and you're gonna toast this golden brown on both sides so that when you're done, this is what you got. Looking good. And that was no camera magic going on there, folks. So, pop open your containers. This is very straightforward. Get yourself a little spoon. And remember, have a nice little setup with some spoons and waters so that you're not constantly running to the kitchen cabinet. You want to put down some of the labneh. And once you got it down, and what is labneh? If you're not familiar and you're not used to doing these experiences with me, Lebanese sour cream. Okay, you're gonna take your bread, 1, 2, 3, 4. Pull out these little cloves of garlic, kind of tuck them through. And then the last element is some chives. Just take your finger, knock the chives down. This is the bread course. If I were you, I'd go sit down and enjoy this with your better half because every moment counts. The closer you're together, the better it gets. Bon appetit. Course 2, this is the kale salad. A lot of you are familiar with the kale salad I've done at the restaurant before, but this is like the 2026 version of it all. So container 2A and container 2B. Once you get these 2 containers to the table, let's review them very quickly. Pop the lid on the big one. Don't get rid of it. You have applewood cheddar. You have double smoked bacon. You have a remoulade, which is mayonnaise with gherkins, capers. You have some pickled shallots, beet-stained capsicum. In here, we have some crispy fried kale. Now, if you look inside the container, you'll see that there's a puddle of dressing already, and there's a dressing over the green beans. We've tried to limit it because what we want to actually do is close it back up and give it a little shake. And you know, your partner's probably in the same room with you, so like, have fun with it. Maybe shake a little bit of the butt too, get it all going on there, you know? This is a mating call after all, food, right? It sets up the evening for some entertaining endings. So that was it. Check this out. This is like a little kale, apple cabbage, green bean salad, and I love green beans. Okay. If you don't want to get your hands messy, you can use your tongs. But before you put the salad down, I want you to grab a spoon, and I want you to take half of this container of the remoulade. This is mayonnaise again with gherkins, capers, mustard. This is what was classically in the 70s and 80s served with poached fish or salmon. And I was always like, yeah, okay, I get it, tartar sauce. But look, you know what? I'm sorry, I can't do the tongs. I've got to use my hands. So we're gonna go there, we're gonna go there. Portion's a little big. It's not the end of the world, but it is a little big, so we'll be backing that off a little bit there. I don't want you to like crumble and die on this. Now, grab another spoon, because this is crispy fried kale. And we just want to kind of put this down as a little garnish action and textural action down on the plate. Okay, look at this. This is so simple. This is like an assembly action. Again, kale will probably be less. Salad overall will be less by at least 25%. There's nothing worse when you have just way too much food. So when you're garnishing salads and you've got multiple things to put on, you need to now think of like just primary colors and how things are going to work. So you don't want to put white cheese over darker elements. You want darker elements and brighter elements like the capsicum, the beet stained shallots, and the double smoked bacon. You want that cheese to be down, because if you put these other three elements on, they're going to pop. Watch them pop. So roasted red pepper is a bit slippery, so when you're dropping it, and go to whatever you think is your level. Some people are not massive fans of capsicum or bell pepper, so if you want to hold back a bit, do it. Some bacon, and then finish off with beet stained shallots. There we go. Wasn't that easy? Salads generally are. It's all about the production, the preparation. Crispy kale salad, waved course, well, not wave, this is course 2. Enjoy. Carpaccio of Prince Edward Island tenderloin of beef. Course 3, welcome. Let's open up the container and see what amazing things we have going on in here. So the first and foremost, you have this lovely little package. In this package is actually the carpaccio. I need you to be super careful with this. Now, mine has just come out of the freezer, but yours is going to be in the freezer, because I'm going to make you put it in the freezer when you get home. But you might be one of those people that didn't read all the notes or information, or didn't watch the video beforehand. So hopefully you did, and hopefully you're on board. Let's come inside and look at what we got. We have some fried gnocchis done with oven-dried cherry tomatoes, just blistered ever so lightly. First press canola oil. These are pickled pearl onion mouth bombs. We have a little bit of chili and salt, and we have a white truffle, grainy mustard, Dijon mustard mayo. And this is the simplicity of this dish. First and foremost, check it out. There's one portion, there's the second portion. And I'm going to show you how this all kind of comes together from a frozen state. We have one portion here, we have a second portion here. You ready? Take your spoon, divide this equally. 1, 2. And you can do the tapping. It's totally an option, but makes you sound so darn professional. Look at this. Come in here, do a little lay line down. It's good. Give yourself a pat on the back. Okay, take the beef, carpaccio, pop it down right onto that. Second one, same as the first, pop it down on top. Now, let's get our vegetable garnishes. And haphazardly, without any kind of format or rhythm or symmetry to it, lay down these elements. Those are your enoki mushrooms. We have tempura fried them. Don't heat them up. It's pointless. Just go for it. We're now going to put the little pickled pearl onions down. I hope you're enjoying these little moments that we're sharing together here as you prepare this incredible meal. And who knows, maybe you're the kind of couple where you're taking turns. One goes up, one sits down. This is first press canola oil. See how beautiful it is, like a corn color to it. Very bright yellow, almost looks like it has turmeric in it. I assure you it does not. Okay, and I'm not a fan of shaking salt and chili out, so put it into your hand and go down. Oh my God, like life is good. You know, the only thing missing, popping open a glass of wine would be just about right. You might have even have picked it up on the last course. Carpaccio at beef tenderloin. Much love to you and your partner in this experience you're sharing with me. Course 4. This is a consomme. This is a roast chicken consomme. This has got some dumplings in it. It's got a lot of business going on to it, but it's also very refined for a special evening like tonight. Now, just come here for a second, because I just want to say that if now's the time to take an intermission, and what that looks like is totally your discretion. I mean, you're 2 peas in a pod. You figure it out. You want to go for a walk? You want to go for a nook? You want to just go and maybe sit out back and take in the sights, although I'm sure it's pretty cold right now, but maybe take an intermission and then come back. Regardless, if you're like, no chef, I'm going to keep going, then maybe that's the time to write a little comment down the video. We did not stop at course 4, chef, we kept going. Look forward to reading your comments. Let's get into it. 4A and 4B. The most critical thing you need to do is put on the chicken consomme. So it's a roasted chicken consomme, and we've already brought it up to basically a boil. As soon as it's at a boil, drop it right down the temp. So that would come right down to like a 1. Now that that's there, you get your 2 bowls, and I want you to head into here and look at all this business going on. We have some pulled lamb shank. We've got way too many chives here. This is how much chives you're gonna actually get. Like the chive farmer is not gonna be happy with me. But you're gonna be happy with me because you're not gonna go crazy on the food. Here's your vegetable garnish. Guess what? This is way too much too. You're never gonna get to an intermission. Well, no, you're gonna get to an intermission real quickly. We're gonna take half of that away. And then here's some pickled chanterelles. So, now that you've got all the containers open, so you're just gonna take your dumplings, of which we've given you 3 each. We're being nice and generous to you, and you're gonna drop them into your liquid. Now that they're in the liquid, you want to drop in your meat. And that's it. That's all you're gonna put in there. Now you're gonna wanna bring it back up to a boil. Make sure that your cups are hot. Preheat them in the oven. Take your vegetables, your Juliana Whisper, and you're gonna wanna pop that down inside. I love it. Chef Matt augmented the recipe here a little bit, gave his own little twist to it, and he put some carrot in there as well. We have some pickled chanterelle, This is a local forager who comes at me every year, and I love her to bits. She always gets me covered. So a little chive action. Honestly, like, look at this. This is all you need. I mean, look inside and you'll see. We don't want it swimming in chives. Check it out, the broth. It's coming up. The meat's hot, the noodle's hot, everything's ready to go. Let's go and plate. So all we're gonna do is take these gorgeous dumplings, 3 per cup. They're stuffed with pickled apple, a little farce, comprising of chicken and lamb, a little garlic, a little cream, and then just fold it over so that you get the chew effect. Now you're gonna put your broth in. You go for 1, you go for 2. And once you've divvied it up equally, the broth, left inside is the lamb shank meat. Don't break it up. Leave it nice and chunky. There's something wonderful about having a soup, especially a clear broth, and you come across a chunk of moist meat, chewable. I mean, look at the weather outside. It's a little bit chilly, and the steam is what you need to warm your heart tonight. 5 is the number. We're on course 5. If you haven't taken an intermission by now, I suggest you stop, go take 15 minutes and be good to yourself. And it better include your better half. So, now that you're back, or you never left, let's open up and look what we got going on here. This is a ricotta and basil nudi. So the beautiful thing about a ricotta basil nudi is that we want to do a little bit of a crispy fry. So I have this basically a little bit of a garnish oil, but I'm actually going to just put a little bit into the frying pan. And that way I can pop my nudis down so I can get some color going. Flame will come up very quickly unless you screw it up like I did. Here we go, that's going to come up real quick. In this container you have a fortified veal jus. You have some crispy fried artichoke hearts, and then we also have some asparagus. So leave that all to do its thing inside. Left, you have a lemon gremolata done with walnuts. So if you have a nut allergy, it was isolated. Over here, we have pecorino cheese. Okay, so you can hear things are starting to come up. The fortified veal stock, I already put in another pot, and I've already brought it up to temperature because I'm only working with one burner right now. But for all of you at home, you've got 4 burners sitting on your stovetop, so you should be good. Just gonna grab a spoon here, and we're talking about 2 minutes tops in this frying pan. Now, the temperature is coming up fairly quick because I'm on, look down there below, we're on full nuclear, so we're gonna pull this down to like just about halfway. So probably on a level of a number 5 on your medium flame. So just get those things moving around, turning the balls. These are not gonna need more than, like I said, 2 minutes for it to come up. Don't add any water to this, leave it as is, okay? Your bowls are ready to go. And again, my apologies. There's the little turmeric oil, shaved Parmesan, and our gremolata. These are like 30 seconds away. I'm gonna flip one more time. We're trying to promote as much crispiness as we can. And you want to technically do it in a frying pan like this because it's going to be quicker from a cleanup standpoint, from an every stand-up point. Okay, so bowls are ready. If you could have your bowls warm, fantastic. I'd say we're there. So what we want to do, and if you have a big wooden cutting board that you're presenting on, you might want to do what I just did there. so that you can now come in, take your asparagus, and I'm just gonna kind of keep this very au naturel. I'm not gonna go for any kind of crazy ass structure. I just like to keep things plate like it sat there naturally. Not that it was forced into some kind of uniformity or position. Just let it sit. All right, so 2 pieces of artichoke per person, 2 nudi. There we go. All right, 1 asparagus missing. I know where you belong, right there. Gonna get the frying pan back on the burner, kill the burner. Our fortified jus had came to a good simmer. You want to just put a little drizzle over the top of each nudi. Oh yeah, just enough. Just enough to make it happy. Take your little spoon, come in and sprinkle with the gremolata. So it's just bread, crumb, lemon zest, a little herbaceous, parsley. I even put a little cilantro in there, believe it or not. I'm going to take a little bit of this oil, just do a little wisp down on the plate, and finish with the Parmesan, the shave. And if you can kind of like just make it dance all over the place, great. Try not to kind of have it supported as you kind of drop it down all over everything. You know, we have 2 courses left to go, everybody. The night is ending beautifully. We have main course to come. This is the ricotta nudi. Enjoy. Course 6, the main course, the climax of this incredible evening. Let's hope there's a wonderful experience waiting for you here in this incredible container. I want you to recognize there's a lot going on here. We're doing a little bit of steak. So inside you've got clarified butter that is rock hard. There's 2 ways to deal with this. You can put it in a microwave at number 7 on a little plate and you can zap it for 30 seconds and it'll melt till it's this state. Regardless, you're gonna have to have it at room temperature, not hot. You also have this mixture, which is your reduction to make the béarnaise sauce. So you wanna pop that into the bowl. Everything else off to the side. We have some butter with oil for cooking the steak. We have demi-glace reduction, which in fact, this is a finished Périgourdin sauce. So this has truffle, it has Port Madeira red wine. We have a torchon of foie gras in here. I'm gonna leave that just as it is right now. We have 4 pieces of Yorkshire puddings, some green beans, and a lovely little chunk of PEI ribeye of beef. Actually, this is not PEI. I went with Alberta this time for this one. So let's do these pieces. Let's do this all together in stage so that everything comes out hot and ready at the same time. I'm gonna cook this on 1 burner. You're gonna need to have a whip and your egg yolks with your reduction. You're gonna put it onto the boiler and you're gonna whip away. If you're sensitive to heat, grab yourself a little kitchen rag and keep it on the side so you're not burning your hand. And what we want to do here is we want to cook out the egg whites so they thicken. And in order for you to do such a small amount, you really want to not walk away from this. And you don't want to be like, oh yeah, honey, just go ahead, do it. No, that's not going to suffice. You're watching me. You're probably going to watch this portion of the video twice. until you get it. See how I pop on and pop off? You do not want to scramble the egg. You want the egg to be silky. And where it gets scrambly is on the edges, because that's actually where a lot of the connectivity heat is coming from. Off. And you see how it's gone kind of foamy? For a lot of you die-hard at-home experiences, guess with Next, you know this one already. So you don't need to go through this with me because you get it. So look, it's now gone to a stage which is called ribbon stage, where the twines going through are now being left behind. I'll give it like another 12 seconds. Okay, so we're gonna pop that there, clean out the whisk. Now that the water is out of the way, you want to take the frying pan that you have, drop that down onto the heat. Get that on a medium flame, so at least a 6. Your ribeye of steak has actually been already cooked. It's been done sous vide. So this is actually a beautiful medium rare. And all we need to do is open the bag. And when you open up the bag, you want to pull out the steak, but you don't want the blood that's in here. If you can pat dry this piece of meat, even better. So, with the miracle of a kitchen rag, I'm just gonna go in and give that a little hit down. Okay, beautiful medium rare. You're kind of like, I don't see it, chef. I don't believe it. What we want to do is we want to promote color now. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hold back the butter and put the oil in. The easiest way to tell when the oil is getting hot is it feels warm. No, it spreads out and it becomes very loose. It moves quicker. So it's kind of there. Oh yeah. Okay, steak's in. Come back over here with the whip. If your partner's not available, you want to now come in here and take your clarified butter and hit it right in. Do a little hit. Now, I can tell you something right now is going on here with this, and I need to fix it very quickly. So you're just going to take a little bit of water and you're going to add this in, because what we're doing here is an emulsification. And the reason that I needed the water is I have way too much fat in there. And I need to kind of balance things out a little bit. So just splash a little bit of the oil, of the clarified butter in. Don't put the oil in. Don't screw this up and put the oil in that had the cube of butter in. It's not the same thing. Look at this. There we go. Pop that there. Give a little taste. Unbelievable, great flavor. Steak is cooking. Let's give it a little flipsy. You got a pair of tongs? Fantastic. If you don't want to use tongs, use a pair of. So it's kind of sticking a little bit, not gonna lie. Might have to throw in the towel today. Throw the towel in, chef. All right. So let's have a look here. That could have been better executed, but it's all good. It's gonna come off. It's not the end of the world, because guess what happened? We got color, folks. So you can see that the steak is getting its color here. This is really not about promoting color, but it's more just about getting it basted so we can get color on both sides. I'm gonna give it a little bit more. And while all that's going on, I'm gonna drop my Yorkies in. I'm gonna drop my green beans in. I'm gonna clean up my station. And if you haven't had a glass of wine yet, now's the time. You're on the climax of this incredible dinner, the 6th course. Everything's cooking down beautifully. It's sounding great. This steak, as you can already tell, has not been in here very long. And it is a beautiful cuisson. I'm just gonna pop this to the side here and let it rest. And now that everything else is going on in here, we are coming to the end. So, ready to plate? Let's do it. The sauce that we had, the Périgourdin sauce, we're gonna put that on and we're gonna bring that burner right down. gonna bring that down to like a 2. Okay, so we're gonna drop down our Yorkies. These are done with brie. Maximum color there for sure, no question. Now take your sugar snaps. Again, let's not go for like Space 1999. Let's keep it clean. Let's keep it natural looking. Just put the beans wherever you want. Don't feel to be judged. Just feel like you're at home. And you're taking care of someone who is extremely important to you in your life. Sometimes what will happen with the sauce when you heat it is it might get a little too tight. I'm just gonna put a little bit of water in there. I'm gonna bring that flame right up. So, what we have left is the steak. And I'm gonna do a little cut angulette here. Oof, this looks so good. Now, you're absolutely right. This is not a massive portion of meat. This is the perfect amount of meat for what we're trying to achieve here today. Okay. That's gonna melt in your mouth. On top of that, we have these 2 pieces, and I do have to stop because this sauce, you could hear it in the background coming up to full temp, and it is good. So, the best way to deal with this torchon foie gras is to actually just come in with a knife and pop it free from the bottom one. You can see there's a bit of gold flake there, and the paper is still on it. And what we want to do, I want to drop one there. And this is duck liver, done with butter. And it is supposed to be dirty, awesome, amazing, tasty, flavorful. Close your eyes. Remember who you're with. Remember how you got here. And remember where you're going. Because the night is almost there. Oof. I don't know about you, but I think I'm going to come back over here and give a little bit more blessing. Oh yeah, that's so good. Turn off your burner. And what did you forget? Not much, just the béarnaise sauce. So come back in. You can see the viscosity or the level that we're looking at here. And we're just gonna go in. And we just do a couple of dollops. Okay. You are fait accompli. Look at that. And remember, chef's prerogative. So good. Ribeye beef. Torchon foie gras with gold shimmer. It's actual true gold. A little Yorkshire pudding, béarnaise sauce, sugar snap peas. Simple, clean, sexy. Enjoy.
Fly away with me, take you high, soaring, see you smile, it's my only dream.
With every great deed comes a reward, and for you, it's course 7. It's a dessert course. It's funny, this is a cheesecake, but more importantly, it's a cheesecake made with goat cheese. And you know, when I wrote the menu, I'm like, do I write goat cheese cheesecake or do I write goat cheesecake? And then of course, invariably, somebody in the team said, but it sounds like there's goat in the cheesecake. Well, there is, but it's goat cheese. And then someone's like, well, it should be written goat cheese and cheesecake. I'm like, no, sounds like 2 different things. They're together. So it's a goat cheesecake, but there's no goat meat in it. Let's talk about this. They're little parcels, looking gorgeous, crispy fried. Honestly, if you're going to do these, just warm them up in the oven. You won't need more than 4 to 6 minutes to get that going. You've got a number of garnishes in here, some blueberries, some crushed meringue, a little coulis of berry, some crumbled graham cracker crumble, and then the pièce de résistance, this is a sorbet, ginger and lemon. Straightforward. The first thing you want to do is take your strawberry coulis, your berry coulis, and you want to go pop a dot down, pop a second dot down here. Spread that across. Spread that across. We want to go 1 and 2, 1 and 2. I'm going to put some crumbles down. Meringue first. All right. And then we're going to put some of the blueberries down. And then we'll finish with a graham cracker crumble. And you might want to just move your finger in there to make sure it's moving well. Just in transport, things can kind of get compressed a little bit. And then to finish off, we have the sorbet. So the sorbet can literally, like, your best way of dealing with this, get it free, but then split it down the middle so that you can just kind of come in and do one of these. One there, and one there. And this, I appreciate you being a part of the ongoing success of this restaurant next. We appreciate the opportunity to see you again in the future. And if you're interested, Easter's already for sale. Head to nextfood.ca. Bookings are being taken as we speak.